This meeting is being recorded.
Good afternoon, good morning, good evening, wherever the hell you guys are located around this crazy world that we're living in. My name is Al Ditton. This is Webisode number 53 with Underground Noise Webzine. I would appreciate if you subscribe to my channel, subscribe to Chaos Rising, subscribe to The Metalist. David, I'd like to give you another shout out today. Thanks for helping me set up this interview with this band. I do appreciate it. Welcome, Chaos Rising. Got Catherine, Stephanie, and Tina from the band today. Thanks for giving me a portion of your time, ladies.
Hi, thanks for having us.
You're welcome, it's my pleasure. First off, if you'd like to tell us what you guys do in the band, I would appreciate it.
Okay, so who starts?
You go first, Stephanie.
Okay, so in the project, I am composing, writing songs. I play guitar, bass. I can record some vocals. I do mix of the songs. I can edit videos, and in fact, I am at the origin of the project.
I'm Tina. I play the bass, and I did all the graphics and the logo for the project. Yeah. And some video editing I do.
Oh yeah. I'm Catherine, and I do songwriting, and I play the guitar and sometimes piano and keyboards, and I help with sometimes writing lyrics, a bit of admin and promotion. So a little bit of everything, but nobody does anywhere near as much as Stephanie. But we should also say that I'm in Switzerland, Tina is in Germany, Stephanie is in France, and we actually have members in 20 countries. So we're spread all over the world. That's
really cool. So a multiverse type of band, huh?
Yeah, definitely.
That's really amazing, because I was listening to your song called Thrive earlier on YouTube, and I was really blown away by it. I said, wow, that girl gets pretty guttural with those vocals.
Oh so, yeah, Britta. Yeah, Britta's amazing.
Yeah, it'll definitely put the arm hairs standing right up. You know, it's just like, whoa, this is pretty shocking material. So I really enjoyed it.
Thank you.
The next question I have for you would be, who are your influences?
Individually or for the whole?
You guys can answer them individually if you'd like to. I mean, it's cool.
Yeah, I think, well, I listen mainly to death metal, but also like thrash metal and some prog metal. And well, influences, I don't know, but I like the bass playing of Cattle Decapitation's bass player, but he's very, very technical, and you can learn a lot from him, I think. And yeah, Bloodbath I like a lot. Sorts of bands like that. Yeah.
For me, I listen to a lot of hardcore, grindcore, metalcore, deathcore, all the cores. I like death metal. I listen to a lot of different styles of metal, which is useful for Chaos Rising because we compose in a lot of different styles. And I actually came to music from a classical background, so I'm quite a recent convert to metal. I was a classical pianist before, so my influences are quite broad. My gateway into extreme metal was Children of Bodom. I started listening to Children of Bodom about 10 years ago. And it was from there that I discovered more extreme sounds. So I would probably say Alexi Laiho is a big influence on me as a guitarist. But yeah, I listen to a lot of different styles, and I've discovered new styles being in Chaos Rising because I've been asked to write symphonic metal and black metal and things that I didn't know much about before. So yeah, still discovering new types of metal.
That's really cool.
So I am listening to death metal and thrash metal, but I listen also to some other styles because, like Catherine, we must compose song in other styles like heavy metal and things like that. But I mainly listen to all the death metal bands like Death, Testament, Pantera, and bands like that I saw live a long time ago. So then I go to a lot of shows, so I can see and watch heavy metal bands, hardcore, and a lot of other styles. And then I have to compose in many different styles, even industrial, but not symphonic yet, but maybe one day. So
That's really awesome. My next question for you ladies would be, when it came to the music video Thrive, how long did that video take to record the whole thing in its entirety?
Oh, I don't remember, but I remember that we did not took so long to compose the song. Then we had to do together a lot of how do you say arrangement, things that we worked together online. But I think it was fast to do. And for the video, everybody has to record at home, and then we edit the video. I edited the video after, but I think it was fast song, this one, no?
Yeah, maybe a month or one and a half, something like that.
Yes.
The videos that we do, obviously we don't have a budget, and we're also all recording in our own homes with different cameras, different skills, and we also want to show in our videos our playing. It was quite important. This was Stephanie's idea at the beginning, that the videos would be in a playthrough style so that people could see us playing our instruments, partly because people like to see that, and also to show that women can play metal, we can play all the instruments, you know, we wanted to show the technical side. So our videos tend to be in that sort of playthrough style, with everyone on their own screen. But in some of them, we've tried to have a theme as well. But budget is definitely an issue there. So yeah, our videos are more about showing the instrument, showing the techniques, and showing what we can do.
I can definitely appreciate that. It's always good to see what people do with their instruments, because sometimes you're like, how is that played? And then when you see it, you're just like, whoa, it was played like that. And
Yeah.
some people envision it a little bit differently. But when you see the final product, you're just blown away. That's always a good thing. How would you describe your local music scene?
You want to go first?
You can go first.
Okay, sure. Well, I live in Geneva, Switzerland, and it's not particularly known for heavy metal, but it actually has a really great scene here. There are a few sort of legendary hardcore and grindcore bands that came from Geneva, like Nostromo and Knut, and there are lots of underground venues. There's something happening almost every night. So the local scene is really vibrant here, and it's also very friendly. It was my way of getting to know the city and getting into metal. So that's a really positive thing. We don't tend to get the biggest bands coming through here because they tend to go to Zurich rather than Geneva. But I prefer going to smaller shows anyway. So yeah, the scene is good here, and it's also very there's plenty of women, young people, old people. It's a really friendly scene. So yeah, it's good in Geneva.
Yeah, we also have a very cool scene here and in southern Germany, and Germany overall too, and lots of metal fans and also many women too. and you could go to a show every week. It's no problem. And yeah, we my band and me, we play maybe once or twice a month, and yeah, it's very vibrant here too.
For me, it's a bit different because I live in France, and there was not a lot of metal in my country, but now it's better. I started to play in metal bands in 1998. So I play since 28 years in a local band. I play metal. And I can say it's not so dynamic because I don't live in a big city, so it's difficult to find good musicians playing metal music where I live. But there are a lot of shows, interesting shows, but it's difficult to play when you are a small local band, and it's very difficult to do a lot of things because I'm not in the big city of my country. So I think there is a lot of things to improve concerning metal music in France.
How often does the band practice together?
Chaos Rising, never. We have never played live, and it's the question we always get asked in interviews and on social media, because now we have our double album release as well. People are asking when we will tour the album, but we've tried to figure out how we might do that one day, and we haven't found the solution yet because we are in 20 countries. There are, I think on the album, there are 36 musicians who contributed in some way. So we'd love to play live one day, but we would need to rehearse first. Maybe one day we can have like a residency somewhere and we can figure something out. But as of now, some of us have met in real life at gigs and things, but we have never played together.
Well, I hope it happens for all of you. I really do. That's
Yeah, it would be really cool. We all play in our own bands. So yeah, playing together would be a dream. Maybe one day.
How many albums does Chaos Rising have? I'm not very familiar with you guys, so.
It's just that one double album for now, and but I guess we will have another one if we keep producing like that, or if Steph is doing it.
So that'd be considered the debut album, right?
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
really cool.
Although it's quite unusual to release a double album, and I believe that when Stephanie started the project, she didn't really have an album in mind, but we got to a point where we had almost 20 songs. We've been very prolific because we've actually only been going for 3 years, maybe even less than 3 years. But we built up a momentum where we were at one point releasing a song and a video every month. So we built up this body of work, and we thought maybe we should consolidate this and find a way to introduce it to new listeners. So rather than choosing some of our songs, we decided to put them all together. And the album has one brutal side, which is called For the Head. And then the second side is the melodic side, which is called For the Heart. And I think that's unique. I can't think of another metal album like that. But we have all the extreme vocals and the blast beats and so on CD1, and then we have the melodies and the clean voices on CD2. So yeah, that's a really unusual format, which people seem to be really enjoying. They're discovering some of our songs they hadn't heard before. So yeah, it's quite unusual to have a debut album that's also a double album, but we decided to just go for it and put it all out there. And we continue to make music, so we'll see what we do for the second album.
What song would you say is your favorite?
difficult.
Go on, Stefan.
I'm sorry.
Me? Well,
Well,
my song is my favorite song is maybe also Thrive, and although I never listened to symphonic metal, but I love the Limbo song.
I was listening to that one too earlier. That's a good one.
My favorite is probably The Greatness Beyond, which is our doom metal song. Because I really enjoyed the way it came together. That was our biggest group of girls. I think there was 6 or 7 of us on that song. And we had someone playing the clarinet, and we had some cool concepts in the video. And I really enjoyed I think that's the song that really epitomizes the collaboration in this project, because everyone brought something to the table, and what we came up with was a really cool doom metal song. So for me, The Greatness Beyond is my favorite.
I don't know, maybe I will say Silent Dazen, because it was the most difficult to play and to record, because it's very technical. And I really like the drums performance of Ellie, who played very, very fast. Well, I will say this one, but in fact, I find that all the songs of the album are very interesting. I like a song like Lost too, because it's very there is a lot of melody, and I was not used to play and to compose songs like that. So well, yes, I will say Lost and Silent Dancing.
That's really cool. I hope I can see you guys live someday. That'd be fantastic.
Yeah, us too.
Yeah. Like I said, I was really impressed with that song, Thrive. It really got me thinking like, wow, they can shred.
Yeah, we can play.
Yeah, you ain't no joke, that's for sure. I'm just like, okay, keep it going, ladies, keep it going. My support all the way.
Thank
So,
you. Well, I think because of the way we record, everyone has to record alone. There's no studio involved. And what that means is that the technical level at which we're playing has to be that much higher, because everything has to be perfect. Otherwise, when we put it all together, it will be a disaster. And sometimes we have to redo things. Because of the way we record, it does mean that we have to be really good musicians. We can't just turn up to a studio and get a producer to fix it for us. We have to do it ourselves. So the technical level is something that we pride ourselves on.
that's awesome. Sometimes it's got to be like that, but that's okay. That's what helps you get your music out there, and then you can keep working on new music at the same time.
Yeah, and I think it's become more of a normal way of doing things because of the pandemic. Lots of musicians suddenly found themselves having to make music in this new way. And we've sort of blazed a trail doing that, because we were the first people to think, well, maybe it's possible. And now not only is it possible, but it's become necessary for lots of musicians. So yeah, it's a new way of making music. And for us, it's the opposite of artificial. It feels very authentic because we really are doing it ourselves. So we're really proud to be independent like that.
That's very cool. This is a question for all three of you. Would you consider that the metal music scene nowadays is a lot stronger than how it was when it first started, like back in the early 80s? Or would you say it had a bigger following back then than now?
Well, it's difficult for me to answer because I am quite a new convert to metal, so I wasn't really on the scene back in the I was alive definitely, but I wasn't on the scene in the 80s and 90s, and certainly because that was the days before the internet. I wouldn't have had access to metal, so I don't know. But what I have noticed is that there seem to be fewer young people getting into it than before. Certainly, I can't get my children into it, and they're teenagers. They're not into metal at all. So I think it's still quite a niche interest for young people. But the scene itself feels really healthy to me. It's a bit like being a football fan. Wherever you go, you find metalheads, and the community is strong. But I'm probably not the best person to answer that. What do you think, Stephanie? You've been on the scene all this time.
It's difficult to say. I can just feel that 30 years ago, it was more funny, and people were more. It was more like how can you say? Difficult to say in English. They were very happy to go to shows. Everybody was very enthusiastic, and I am feeling that now, but it's in my area that we are older, and now there are not a lot of young people coming to shows, so we can only see the old ones like us still supporting the metal scene and going to shows in my town. But I am feeling that it may stop very soon, because if there are not more young people supporting the metal scene, it will be difficult, because it needs a public, it needs associations to plan shows and things like that. But I feel there is less enthusiasm now than before, when I started to play in metal.
Yeah, when I played with my band the last time, we realized that there are very few young people, and yeah, we were also worried that there won't be any more young people in the future. But yeah, I guess there will always be metal fans, and yeah. But it's also very saturated. I guess you can get any band with the internet and Spotify and all that. You can listen to everything, and you don't really need to go to shows if you don't want to. But it would be very sad if there wouldn't be any live shows anymore.
Yeah, it's kind of like when you watch a live performance that happened years before, and you weren't at the show, but when you watch it, you feel like you're actually there. You know, kind of draws your attention. You get that vibe feel, and then next thing you know, you're just like, well, I wasn't there, but I feel like I was. At least you got that much out of it, you know? So that's always a good thing. So how many guitars do you have, Catherine? It looks like you got quite a bunch behind you.
On this wall, I've got 7 or 6 plus a bass. And I also have a 7-string in the case, which I'm worried about putting it on the wall, because the wall's getting really heavy. So I don't know if I can put any more on there. So I have 7 altogether. I don't really deserve to have 7 guitars. And like I said before, I only really play 1. But I just find them really beautiful things to have and to inspire me. And I have them all in different tunings. So if I need to record in a different tuning, then I have something there. So yeah, I have 7 at the moment. 7 and counting.
That's very cool. Well, ladies, we got 10 minutes left in this interview. I've got one last question for all of you, and that would be, do you have any last words for Underground Noise Webzine?
Well, support independent metal, and yeah, keep rocking.
I would say, please check out Chaos Rising. We've really, it's been difficult for us to get people to notice what we're doing, because like Tina said before, the market is very saturated. But please do check us out, because our project is unique for so many reasons. And whatever type of metal you like, there'll be something for you, and you might discover something new. So yeah, please follow us and check out Chaos Rising, and the music will keep coming.
I would say thank you for this interview. Thank you to invite us to do this interview, and we'd like to thank all people supporting what we are doing and helping us to promote our music because it's not so easy to make some promotion of what we are doing.
It's been a pleasure, and thank you, all of you, for giving me a portion of your time today. It's been a blast.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
You're welcome. And don't forget, people, support Chaos Rising, support your local music scene, keep your horns up, and also support Underground Noise Webzine.
Yes, we will. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Appreciate it.